Of the great victory that has happened.
Yeah.
So, dear friends, there's a beautiful nigun talking about the Exodus. We actually say these words by the Haggadah. And it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Because this is what our Parsha is embarking on, right? We've finished pretty much the wonderful account of the patriarchs of Abraham, of Yitzchak, of Yaakov, Yosef. And now there's a new chapter. A new chapter that's really all one chapter. Vihi shi'avav ilav yiseinu v'lo שלא יחוד בלבד עומד עלינו לחלויסנו אלוהי בכל דור ודור עומדים עלינו לחלויסנו והקודש ברוך הוא מצילנו מידו. Which means when they stood against us, against our forefathers and against us, not only one tried to come up to do away with us. It's not the first time. The Egyptians have tried, the Babylonians have tried, the Persians have tried, the Greeks, the Romans, the Assyrians, the Spanish, the Germans.
The Arabs.
It shows its face again. In every generation they come against us, trying to destroy us. And the Holy One, blessed be He, saved us from their hands. Hashem has saved us time and time again, which means there's no need to be afraid now. Which means everything will be alright. We're the eternal nation connected to the eternal God. Thank you, Mark. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו מידו והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו מידו. So know as we read the stories of our past, they're not just history books. There's actually no word in Hebrew for history. Ivrit, modern day Ivrit, has a word for history. You know what it is? Historia. I wonder, that seems like an ancient, indigenous Hebrew word, right? Historia. No, there's no word for history in Hebrew because, in truth, there's nothing that's relegated to the past. Every single thing that we've experienced is actually an active force informing our present, teaching us themes, blueprints of how Hashem created the world, of what socio-political dynamics take place in the world, and what our job is to navigate this world connected to Hashem and involved in this world. So there's no such thing as history. The stories of the exodus of Egypt, as we're going to learn tonight, are coming alive. They're coming alive both on the global stage, but also they're getting very pointed and very highlighted in the personal level of every single person in our day and age. Let's explore, right? This week's Parsha, we open up the book of Exodus, movement of Jah people, right? This is the movement of Jah people, Exodus, where we go from slavery to freedom, to the desert, to dessert. True freedom. We eat the manna, right? That's a true dessert. They say it tasted like honey.
But they didn't like it.
We have a knack for kvetching.
Yeah.
This is definitely something we do.
We taught the world what that means.
Yep. No, that's why if everything was perfect, that's why whenever during this big transition our show was going through, we would try our best to address things that were going on. But if it got to a point that we couldn't address it, I would just say, but if we fixed it, we would take away your favorite pastime. If we actually fixed it, what would you kvetch about? But I have belief in every Jew. We would find another thing. Beginning of Exodus. Jews are in Egypt. We're planted firmly there. We're doing very well. We have Goshen, the most fertile soil in the land. Things are going great for the Jews. It seems to be. But then our parsha tells us, V'yakam el chadash, a new king arose, Shelo yadat Yosef, that did not know Yosef. Now the question is brought, was it truly a new king that didn't know him, or was it a new face of the same Pharaoh? Came forward as if he had no connection, as if he had no love for Joseph. The commentators debate. But either way, there's a new wave in the land. All of a sudden, they're getting nervous. These Jews, or these Israelites as they would have been known, these Israelites, alarming population rates. They're growing like crazy. They're strong. They're smart. They're leaders in the economy. They're taking over. Oh no. We got to put them in this place, or else maybe there'll be a foreign entity that wants to wage war with us, and they're going to join with our enemies against us. Let's put them in their place. Let's make their life difficult. As well, we know Pharaoh got a message from his astronomers and his astrologers that there will be a boy born. And this boy will lead the Jews out. Out of what? Out of the slavery that he chose to put them in. There was a terrible slavery. They would build cities, Pitom and Ramses. Our commentators say that actually these cities were built on quicksand. What's the point of having the Jews work on cities built on quicksand?
Because they would fall through, and then they have to build them again. Keep them working.
There's one thing to give someone hard work. It's another blow to the spirit to give someone meaningless work. This is what they tried to get us to do. Meaningless acts. Something that doesn't truly exist.
So, why did they just want us to leave?
Contribute to the economy?
Yes. Huh?
We contribute to the economy? I don't know. It's a good
Right,
question.
but-
Why didn't they just exile us all?
Because that was stuff, right? It's like they gave, as slaves, like, it was full of meaningless work,
Well-
meaningless tasks, wrong people doing the task, right?
Right.
Like old men doing the work of young men, little kids doing the work of adult. I mean,
That was one of the degrading things,
It was
exactly.
screwed up so that you'd be totally unproductive. So how productive were? I mean, as opposed to think about it, America and its slavery issue, right? The South couldn't function.
Right.
I mean, it didn't think it could function without the economic engine of slavery.
Right. It's true, there is a distinction. It would be worthy to note the historical progression. Oh, no history in Judaism, right? The lesson of the progression of how they got to slavery. Because if he would have come in one day, royal proclamation, all Jews are now slaves, it wouldn't have flown, right? He wouldn't have been able to do it. So at first he put out a mass campaign. Pharaoh said, all good Egyptian citizens, we're building some cities. show up, report, there's going to be good food, there's going to be good wages. And on the first day, big turnout. Pharaoh himself came. They cut the ribbon. It was a big opening. A week or two later, he stopped showing up. A little while later, the Egyptians stopped showing up. And a while later, all that was left were the good citizens, the Jews, the Israelites. They wanted to do well. They were saying, okay, we're going to try to help contribute. And then slowly their wages got cut. And then their load got more difficult. Slowly, it was a progression. And then, from there, the astrologers give the message, a boy will be born that will liberate the Jews. And so Pharaoh says, all boys we throw in the water. Drown in the Nile. Also, it says, a really heartbreaking thing is, Pharaoh had leprosy. And he was told the cure for leprosy was bathing in blood. You
I remember that.
can take it from there,
They
right?
murdered the babies for that one.
So we can only imagine how terrible this was. There's a reason why it's called the first Galus, right? It was the first exile, which kind of was a prototype for, unfortunately, a lot of the difficult things that happened to the Jews afterwards. But know that just as the difficulty was a prototype, so too the liberation will also be a prototype. As the verse says, like the days that I've taken you out of Egypt, for the future redemption, I'll show you equal miracles. So know, so know that Hashem has a wonderful way of working. And sometimes it might seem like we're in the deepest depths. And from there is born the greatest leader. Within that,
What? Was Goshen built on quicksand?
Goshen, I don't believe so. Pitom and Ramses.
Okay, I don't.
There are
I mean,
some modern theories that Pitom and Ramses would be the pyramids of Giza. There are modern theories. Of course, that wouldn't work with the quicksand perspective. But there's 70 ways or 70,000 ways to look at any Torah idea.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry I interrupted.
no, it's an addition, not an interruption.
Okay.
So, within that, you have the leader of the Jewish people. His name is Amram. And Amram says, maybe you and I, my dear wife, we shouldn't be together anymore. It would be so terrible to bring a boy into the world and unfortunately have him being cast into the Nile. Which did happen, by the way, right? In some way that did happen. Let's divorce. And a young girl, Miriam, she said, no. No, you're doing worse than Pharaoh. Their daughter said, you're doing worse than Pharaoh. Pharaoh only had a decree on the boys. But you're decreeing no more life for boys and girls. And so they remarried, and they had a little boy. And this little boy, the moment he arrived into the world, it says that the whole house filled with light. He radiated light from his first seconds, which, by the way, mirrors what happens when he comes down from Mount Sinai, that it says his face had rays of light, which in Hebrew is etymologically similar to the word horns. Rays and horns, Keren, it's a similar word. And when Michelangelo made his famous picture, he translated horns. And that led to the myth that Jews have horns.
Oh my gosh.
So this little baby emanating rays of light, they can't hide this kid for long. Oh, Yvette, what are we going to do? So what do? They put him in a basket and they ship him down the Nile River.
Wait, did they name him?
No.
So it's a good question.
Did
The name,
he have a bris?
the name, I think he came out circumcised. It says about Moshe that he arrived to this
Really?
world already with his bris. Which means this is the inner light that was shining by him. The coarseness of the world didn't have such an enclosure around his emotions. He was light from the first minute. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, that Moshe's birth name is Tuvia.
Anatevka Tuvia?
You would have thought Tuvya's out of the shtetl, right? But Tuvya means Tovka, the good of Hashem. Tovya. And I got a fact check on that one, but if my memory is serving me correctly, Moshe's birth name was Tovia. And why was he called Moses? As he's floating down the river, the Pharaoh's daughter
Takes him out of the water.
She stretches her hand forth, the hand extends, she draws him out from the water. Moshe means drawn from the water. This baby boy is drawn from the water, is raised in Pharaoh's palace. Whoa, do we think about that enough?
Was Moses a typical Egyptian name? The boy's name?
I don't know. Good question. I don't know. It seems so specific and symbolic to the way she encountered him. I doubt it would be something that would be widespread. It had very precise implications.
But what I never understood is, didn't the Pharaoh say, where the heck did you get this baby from?
He did.
And it's in the water. Well, it's gotta be a Hebrew baby.
Maybe. You're leading us to a very deep story that happened. Actually, Pharaoh said this baby seems a little too something special.
Yeah.
We got to do a little test on this kiddo. They said every kid likes gold, shiny things. But you know what every little baby loves more than gold? Fire. Fire is so entrancing. Is that a word, entrancing? Fire sets you into such a trance, is so engaging, draws you in. And so Pharaoh said, we're going to have a litmus test. Little baby Moshe, come here. He plops him on his lap. He has a bowl of gold coins and a bowl of coal burning on fire. Which one are you going to touch? Which one are you going to go for? Because if he goes for the coal, that means he's a normal baby. But if he goes for the gold, that means that he has aspirations to take leadership. Aspirations to usurp me.
So
And little baby Moshe reaches out his little hand towards the gold. And just before he's about to grab it, an angel of Hashem moves his hand to the fire. He touches the fire. He burns himself. He puts his hand to his mouth.
That's why he had
That's why he
a
can't
speech
speak.
defect.
Forevermore. He couldn't speak normally from that moment.
Oh, never knew that.
But
It
Pharaoh's
wasn't in the movie.
no,
Lots of things wasn't in the story.
Pharaoh's worries about Moses were calmed at that point. And then the parsha goes on, and it says Moses, as he grows up, he's a kid, he's a teenager, he's in the Pharaoh's house. We can only imagine what he's up to, right? The parsha really leaves it up to our imagination of what he was up to. Although the Prince of Egypt tries to fill it in a little bit, right? Prince of Egypt tries to tell us, but leaves it up to our imagination. We can assume that Pharaoh's house was a pretty detestable place. We can assume that the idolatry that happened there, that the immorality, they call Egypt Erivas Haaretz, the most disgusting place, right? Even though they had very deep reasons for all their things, right? They would bring justifications of God and that energy and that spirit, and they have to serve. But at the end of the day, it was a bunch of misaligned, impure things. They actually call Pharaoh like one of the sources of impurity, and we're going to get to this soon. We're just going through the story now. Soon we're going to review the story with the Hasidic and the Kabbalistic lens, and we're going to understand the depth of the soul and what it means to all of us. But continue along the story. Moshe goes out one day and he sees an Egyptian taskmaster whipping this Jew. There's a deep story about that too, right? It says that this Egyptian taskmaster really had an eye for this man's wife. Anyway, there's layers to this story as well, but we're not going to go into all of it. And Moshe says used one of the special divine names. You can only imagine where he learned that, right? Was it from the powers of the Jewish people? Did he learn one of these divine names from Pharaoh and his necromancers and his magicians, killed the Egyptian, buried him in the sand, saved the Jew's life. A little while later, he comes out again, and he sees two Jews quarreling, going at it, fighting with each other. And he says, "Brother, why would you raise your hand to strike one of your own brothers?" And then, instead of being grateful for some peaceful intervention, they say, "What are you going to do? You're going to kill us like you killed the Egyptian?" Wait, people saw that? People knew about that? They actually say one of these guys might have been that Jew that was being beaten. But he turned it on him. And he says, "Achei nodah davar." I see that the thing was known. Oh no. He runs away.
Oh, that's funny.
Pharaoh was out for blood. Pharaoh heard that he killed an Egyptian. Maybe Pharaoh had some growing suspicions about him, right? And now that he killed an Egyptian, Pharaoh was out for blood. So Moses runs away to Midian. And when he's there, he's at the well, he sees these 7 daughters getting harassed, these 7 ladies and sisters getting harassed by the other shepherds. He fends off the other shepherds, he helps them get water for their sheep, comes home, meets Jethro, Yisro, his future father-in-law. He meets one of the girls, Tzipporah, he marries her. That story continues. Okay, but within this parsha, we can actually see a deep secret for every single one of us, and a deep secret for these times. How do we say Egypt in Hebrew? Mitzrayim. Very good. The source of the word Mitzrayim is
Tsarim.
what is it?
Tsarim.
Tsarim. Oh, like difficulty, tsar? Ooh, that's a good perspective.
Taurus.
Taurus. I didn't even think of that one. Beautiful. I mean, hard, but deep. So it's classically taught that Mitzrayim comes from the word Meitzar. We say Min ha-Meitzar karasika. Meitzar is a constriction. It's a narrow space. We say in Hallel, like, I called to Hashem from the narrow space, and he answered me to the expansiveness. This is coming out of Egypt, right? From the narrow space, from the constriction,
From slavery that they couldn't escape to freedom.
exactly. The freedom to choose, the freedom to live. And this constriction stifles us collectively as a nation and every single one of us individually. Because although it might seem like Judaism itself has many narrowings, this is the way to do it. Try to do it this way. Actually, it says, Ein cherut ela Torah. There is no such thing as liberation but Torah. Torah is the ultimate liberating thing because there's a difference between a narrow constriction and a perfectly suited channel. This is what Torah is, the channel that allows us to direct our energy. So it's not a constriction. But this constriction happened. And let me ask you, on the personal level, on the human being, where are the 2 greatest energy points on a human?
Heart.
The heart is one of them.
The mouth.
Eyes.
The mouth is an expression of, but there's something that sits behind the mouth. There's something that sits behind the eyes.
Brain.
The brain. The brain and the heart. These are the 2 most powerful points of a human being.
What are they made of? Energy.
They are made of energy. Yeah. Then they have profound energy.
Yeah.
In a sense, the mind is electromagnetic. Well, there's an electromagnetism that's happening between the 2, right? The mind actually sends out electrical impulses. That's why we could pick them up on MRI scans, on different things. The brain sends out electric impulses. It's an outward moving energy. The heart, on the other hand, is magnetic. The heart draws in love, draws in whatever it's really tuned to. Whatever emotion and frequency you're tuned to, if you're tuned to fear, you will keep drawing in things that will make you fearful. If you're tuned into anger, more of that will perpetuate. If you're tuned into love, you'll find the love arises naturally and easily in the world. If I live in love, then I'll find that will be reflected in everyone around me. And love will blossom, and the world will respond to me in kind. If I live in joy, I will find reasons to be joyful, and Hashem will send me good things. As the good Yiddish line says, Sandy, what does trach gut wird sein gut mean?
What is
Tracht gut wird sein good.
I'm not hearing you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Trach gut. Think good. Tracht. Trach gut. Wird sein gut. It'll be good. Yeah, think good and it'll be good. When we have good thoughts, when we're in a good, happy state, that brings in goodness to our life. You think we're going to have a good life if we spend all of our time watching the news telling us of every terrible thing that's happening in the world? You think these fear perpetuating machines are going to tune us in to the frequency of love and kindness and joy and respect and draw in goodness into our life? No. You're dialing in. You go to a TV channel. You're channeling a certain energy to you. What station do you want to stop at? Where's your stop on the train? What's your TV station? Your television tells your vision. It tells your vision. What will be the vision of your life? What will come forward from you? So we all want to feel love. And we all want to feel joy. And we all want to do this. But you know, when Sean Hannity or this one or that one or the Red Eye or the 4 a.m. or the 5 a.m. or my daily news or whatever show I watch comes on, I'm going to sit down with the clicker and do it. I mean, this is a nice idea that Rabbi Shalom talked about, but come on, like, this is my schedule. Leave me alone. We all know the things we should be doing. We all know the actions we need to take in order to dial in. We're not telling anything new here. This is not any great revelation or great insight. Every single one of us know there are things we could be doing that allow us to live in more love, that allow us to live in more joy, more peace with others, more kindness and more connection. What's stopping us? What part of yourself?
The brain.
Your brain knows what's right.
Your heart?
Your heart wants to feel what's right. What's stopping the heart from feeling it enough to doing it? Because if you really felt it, you would do it. The brain knows it. The heart wants to feel it enough. What's stopping? Where's the constriction between the brain and the heart?
The mouth.
It's a good guess. That is. There's a narrow place between my brain and my heart.
The eyes.
My neck. My neck and my throat is this constricted space between my mind and my heart. In Hebrew, you say neck as oref. The oref is the neck. If you shuffle and scrabble the letters of oref, it will spell Pharaoh.
Oh.
Pharaoh is the neck, the constriction that is inhibiting the resonance between our minds and our hearts. Our minds want to give that light to our heart, to give it enough motivation that our heart feels it and wants to do it, that my heart will get me going to my Tai Chi class, that will get me going for my joyride on my newly refurbished motorcycle. And will get me going on all the things that I want to do, right? I know, there's like so many cool guitar techniques I want to learn. So many cool guitar techniques. There's like a world of things out there. Why am I not learning them? I know I want to be. Somehow I don't feel it enough. There's a constriction, there's a Pharaoh blocking me from having enough light go from my mind to my heart in order to actually do it. Does this resonate with anyone?
Yes.
Has anyone ever felt blocked in any way? You guys are all amazing, but I feel blocked sometimes. Sometimes I don't feel like I could actualize all the things I'm thinking about. How do we do it?
Well, you know,
We need an exodus.
our brains are very busy protecting us from any kind of danger, making sure that we survive. And I think that that's a very different function from the left, you know, so, and maybe that's why it gets constricted.
Absolutely.
That,
Right.
because it's incompatible in a way with being in the moment and being in awe of this incredible life, you know, and to think about, oh my God, am I going to be able to get home in time for blah 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 or something, you know, or whatever I'm worried about.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. This is the symptom of a brain that does not have a clear channel to the heart. When the energy comes here and it bounces back, what does that do? It loops. It loops, it loops, it loops, it loops. We get stuck in patterns, we get stuck in certain ways of living. It loops because it's not giving flow, which would allow a new idea, a new light, a new connection to come in.
The knot on the back of the tefillin is probably a spiritual conduit to make that connection.
The tefillin in general, and you're right, that's one of the main power points of it. Exactly. That's why our tefillin, we have 2 boxes of tefillin, we put them next to our mind and next to our heart. It's meant to be actually an antenna, to bridge the two, to open up that gap and allow the energy to flow to the heart. Very, very astute. Interestingly enough, right? Moshe Rabbeinu is drawn from the water. We were all here for our Bereshit class. A lot of us were here. For Bereshit, we learned about water. Is water just any old thing? No. Water is the primordial source. It is the ultimate substance. It is this place of infinity. Moshe is drawn from the great light. Moshe is drawn from the great infinity. And this is why it takes a Moshe. Because Pharaoh's constricting you over here and the Jewish people are here. And he's stopping the flow of energy to them. The prophecy is not flowing. The money is not flowing. The freedom of movement is not flowing. Life is a constricted, difficult experience. Because Pharaoh's at the neck of the entire cosmic order. The great Arizal says that Pharaoh is the snake that latches onto the back of the neck, sucking the great life from Hashem and diverting it to the negative forces. So of course, what comes down to this world is just a trickle, just enough to keep us alive, but it's slavery. It's exile. It's not us living in fullness. And what is liberation? What is Geula? Geula is an expansion of the neck, a resonance between the mind and the heart, a removal of the snake of Pharaoh, and allowing the light of Hashem to flow into this world. Now, Kabbalistically, we said, what is the energy on the tree of life, the Sfirot, that bridges the mind and the heart? Chokhmah and Bina are the 2 primary energies of the mind, right? Wisdom and understanding. And then we said knowledge, Dad. Dad is the fusion between the mind and the heart. And that's why our Parsha starts off that a new king arose, Asher lo yada et Yosef, which did not know Joseph, which did not have the das, or could be interpreted as removed the das, removed the fusion between mind and heart, removed the channel, and constricted the channel that allowed Hashem's light to flow into the world. Wild stuff, right? All of a sudden we have a whole new take on this Exodus story. All of a sudden we understand why our sages say that we have to recount this Exodus story every single day. And we do it in the final paragraph of the Shema, right? We talk about the coming out of Egypt. And we do it way in depth as we get to the holiday of Pesach. Why is this such an important story? Not just because it's of its historical significance, not just because it has some meaning to our past. It is the active informant of every single one of us every single day. How do we level up? How do we break out of our blockages? What's holding me back? I got things that are holding me back. Hey, dear friends, human being over here messes up all the time. Things hold me back. There's so many things I aspire to, so many areas that I haven't leaned into yet that I want to. What is it? It's my pharaohs. It's my constrictions. I have an inspiration to do something, but I'm not motivated enough to do it. I'd love to open that Torah book right now, but right now I'm just tired. I'd love to get up and scoop my kid up when he was not feeling good, but I'm not. No. I feel it. Pharaoh's here. Remove him. Generate the light and allow the light to go down to your heart. And for this, you need a Moshe. For this, you need a Moshe. You need a light drawn from the water. You need an energy that flows. And what is the key? Is Moshe Rabbeinu says, V'nachnu ma, what am I? What am I already? Later on, this is later in the story when he's dealing with the people in the desert, he says, what am I? And it's explained that Moshe is the embodiment of the first sphere of Chokhmah. Chokhmah, wisdom. That's why he brings the Torah to us, he brings the wisdom, he is the embodiment. And wisdom, like water, like Moshe, flows from a high place to a low place. Like gravity, water will always find its lowest gravitational pull. Pull and pool, right? It will always find its lowest dissension. This is Moshe with his water flowing the energy into the world. And Chokhmah, if you break up the letters, it spells Koach, the power of Ma. The power of what? The power of what? What? What does what mean? What is what? It's a question. By saying I have a question, what does that imply?
I'm curious.
I'm curious. I don't know.
Lack of knowledge.
I'm ready to learn. But it's not lack of knowledge as a deficit. It is I do not yet know that, and I'm excited too. Abba, what is that? Abba, what is that? Abba, what do we see over there? I hear what? Baruch Hashem, so many times a day. So many times a day. Because the childlike state is always in a state of what? Whoa. What? What is that? That's exciting. Whoa. What? I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to know. There's a new idea coming in. I'm not stuck. I'm not looping. Children have total resonance between their mind and their heart. The second a child thinks something, they want it. They want it so badly. They need it. I have to have that lollipop. The child falls and scrapes their leg. Are they looking around? Are people watching? Are they going to think funny things about me if I cry? Is this appropriate over here? No. They sense it here. It goes to the heart. It gets full expression. A child fully expresses their entire inner world. Beautifully. In ways we could only aspire to. And we never truly grow up. We only cover up. We only cover up. We cover up that inner state of whatness. With one Pharaoh and another Pharaoh and another. I know this already. I know that already. I'm not interested. Leave me alone. Get out of here. No, sir, I don't want to hear about your car insurance plans. Friends, Moshe Rabbeinu was always excited to learn. Moshe Rabbeinu was always excited to learn. He always had a spark in his eye. What is the remedy for lethargy? What is the cure?
Action.
For inaction. What's the cure for inaction?
Action.
Curiosity. Excitement. Which will lead you to action. Action is the final result. What do you need to draw upon? What is your key to get rid of Pharaoh is Moses. Your key to get rid of your blockage is your excitement. Your whatness. What? I actually have a friend in Tzfat. I hope he one day watches this video. It's a very special guy. His name is Ariel. And Ariel, at random moments when he hears a Torah, when something, he'll just be like, what? Whoa, what? At one time, I was sitting with him in the base medrash. I told him a Torah. He got so excited. He said, "What?" And he threw his phone across the room. This man is living in Moshe Rabbeinu's state. He's excited. He's in his 30s, but the childlike wonder is so alive with him. So alive with him. Excited. Oh, Tzfat, there's a whole bunch of characters. You know, everyone is a different parsha in Tzfat. And this is why, when the Jews went out of Egypt, as you mentioned, Hashem showed Moshe the knot of his tefillin. Right? Hashem says, Moshe says, Harini nas kvodecha. Hashem, I want to see your glory. I want to see your face. Moshe asks for a very special request. And Hashem says, you can see my hinder part, but my face you shall not see. Upanai lo yirau. Because the pnimiyut, the inner dimension of divinity, will always be mysterious. The second someone experiences it, you can no longer remain a distinct entity. You automatically come subsumed into it. The second someone really has something enter to the full extent of their being, it's not them doing something anymore. When I really get in the flow with guitar, it's not me playing guitar. It's me flowing through an additional limb. In the inner dimension, you no longer exist. So Hashem tells Moshe, you could see the back of my neck, the back of me. Of course, Hashem doesn't have a neck. These are just anthropomorphizations of divinity in order to allow us to have some understanding of profound spiritual concepts. But let's not confuse ourselves to think Hashem has a neck. And it's over there, Rashi says, Hashem showed him the knot of the tefillin. Ties in this. Why does he show Moshe the knot of his tefillin? Moshe is the one that is opened up the channel of the neck. Moshe is the one that drew the curiosity, the excitement, the whatness enough to open the neck and allow the energy to flow, allow liberation to happen, Geula, the Exodus. He is the one that opened that space. So that is his corresponding light and reward that he gets to see.
What do women have that is comparable to the knot of the tefillin? Women
have a natural connection and resonance in the heart. You are much more tapped into your heart than I am. Much more. That heart is not a hard part for you to access, usually.
So the channel is open?
The channel is open. Now, the only question is, what do I bring into my mind that will come to my heart? I can bring Hashem into my mind, Torah into my mind, which will so easily go to your heart, and you're gonna be so stoked about it. Or I can bring CNN and Fox News and CNBC and this one and Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and YouTube, and that's what will go to our heart. For men and women, just that channel is always open. Your job is to choose what is your quote-unquote masculine. Because the feminine is totally receptive. The feminine nature is to receive and transform. The masculine nature is to initiate. What is the spark you are choosing to receive? Do you want to receive your spark from Hashem or receive your spark from something else? That will automatically go to your heart. You'll feel that right away. Much quicker than I will.
Also, Rashi's daughters wore tefillin.
Right. It is not a 100% taboo for a woman to wear tefillin.
It's not. They said as long as you do it regularly.
As long as you do it regularly, it takes also a degree of intentionality as you enter it. Right? A high degree of intentionality. For men and women, I'm not, right? We just have to do it, whether we have the intention or not. But to really do it right, as our sages say, mitzvahs below kavana, kaguf beli neshama. That a mitzvah without intention is like a body without a soul. A body without a soul is unfortunately not an alive body. A mitzvah without an intention, without proper entering it, for man, woman, child, it's a shell. What we want to do is when we celebrate Pesach, we want to not just mumble through a story, we want to remember this. I want to have the intention, Hashem, that this year, Pesach, or this day when I read Shema, that this should be a day of liberation. This should be a moment where I'm not going to allow the constriction of yesterday, of an hour ago, of a minute ago, or of a second ago, to dictate how I move forward. I am a new being. My ancestors went out of Egypt. I went out of Egypt with them. And when Hashem says, I took you out of Egypt to be for me as a nation, to be for me as a people, he is essentially saying, you are my servants, which liberates you from everything else in the world. A Jew has the capacity to be free of every single difficulty in the world. I don't care whether it's financial, emotional, familial. If a Jew truly becomes a servant of Hashem, aligns with who we're truly meant to serve, every single pain, every single difficulty no longer exists. That doesn't mean life is simple, but that means it all has profound meaning in this context. It all is so, right? The difference between pain and suffering, it's like the difference between working hard and working hard for nothing, right?
Yeah. Suffering, you choose to suffer. Pain is when you can't control it.
Absolutely. And our sages tell us actually, Lefum Tzara Agra, commensurate with the difficulty is the reward. But not commensurate with the suffering. Suffering is not difficulty. Suffering is a self-imposed exile. We don't need to do it. Okay, so what happens if I mess up? What happens if I mess up? Shouldn't I suffer? What happens if I messed up with my kid, with my friend, with my spouse, with this one, with that one? Should I not beat myself up over it?
No.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because then you are staying in the ego nature of Pharaoh. I messed up. Instead, you have to get into curiosity. Moshe, how can I do better? What is needed from me? What can I improve? What can I learn? And from that space, it will enter the heart, give us the motivation to act on it. And I'd rather take one small action than a million ayayays. Sorry for taking away our favorite pastime again, all right? Kvetch, we like to kvetch, I know. But let's transform our kvetch into holy chutzpah. Into holy chutzpah, saying, I see that there is a world that's not aligned out there. I see there are things, instead of kvetching about it, let me recognize it's misaligned and let me do something about it. Let me gain the curiosity. What can I do? I just saw this amazing TED Talk of this woman who went to a beach went to water in Louisiana, somewhere, I forget where, and she saw a bunch of glass bottles. And she was so sad. But she had the capacity to ask what is needed of me in this space, and they cleaned up their area. And then she started an organization to return bottles into degradable sandbags, crack them up into degradable sandbags, and they create barriers, helping create reefs and more spaces for wildlife using this. Instead of kvetching and lamenting, she asked, what? What can I do? What is needed of me? Moshe, this is, and I think they took care of 14 million pounds of trash now, some astronomical number. Liberation, Ka'ula.
Well, as Rabbi Liban would say, if you're going to kvetch, kvetch responsibly.
Please kvetch responsibly. Don't drink and kvetch. Don't kvetch and drive.
I'd like to point something out before you play the guitar. Bring music, beautiful music in. 2 Shabbases ago, you were doing the Devar, Torah, you were up on the Bima, and you had Razi sitting on your shoulder, one leg here, one leg behind. And you are so spiritually motivated in your storytelling, and there's a noise. You know what I'm going to say? There's a noise, and he goes, what's that? And you immediately said, that's Hashem. It was like, I have to say, that I will never forget that moment. It was so spot on, so beautiful, so perfect. You were able to tell your son. You don't have to think, oh, it's the furnace or anything. It was Hashem.
Hashem's always
Beautiful.
talking to us.
Beautiful.
And you know, hopefully I can walk away from an interaction with every single one of us here. And with every person I meet. And when I think on it on the situational level, that was that person, that was the thing that I need to deal with. But when I look at it to its core, I can remember that was Hashem. That was just Hashem talking to me. Telling me how I can grow. Telling me where the next step in the path is laid out. Hashem's always talking to us. We feel like he's not talking. He's actually talking so much that it's become like white noise and we've tuned him out. I'll say that again. It's not that Hashem is not talking. Hashem is talking so constantly that we're no longer even aware of it. Through everything.
In the same way that we take miracles for granted on a daily basis.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even just think what happened recently in Israel. Iran launches 300 intercontinental ballistic missiles. 300. And then several more after that, right? They're really hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of missiles. You would have thought that a state as tiny as Israel would have been wiped off the map.
Yep.
Not one casualty in those 300. Throughout the rest of the war, it's unbelievable how Hashem has protected us in ways that are not only improbabilities, they are astronomical impossibilities. We should just call them what they are. Wendy said it, miracles. These are great miracles. And this is what Hashem promised us. Like in the days that you left Egypt, I will show you miracles. And the sages expound that like the days of Egypt, meaning that the miracles that come in the future redemption will make the miracles of Egypt look like child's play. The miracles we are going to see unfold in our lifetime, friends, that we're already seeing unfold in our lifetime, are unbelievable. Because guess what? The same old ugly head roared again, saying, these guys, these Jews, they're too strong, they control the world, they control the banks, they control da-da-da-da-da-da-da. This same old voice that Pharaoh said, what are we going to do if they join up against us? It's not a new voice. It's a very old voice. And Hashem is going to take care of us. Hashem has taken care of us before. Hashem has given us the blueprint. Now, what can you and I do? What can every single one of us do to bring Mashiach?
Good deeds.
Acts of loving kindness and good deeds. Absolutely. And activate your own inner Mashiach. Activate your own inner Moshe Rabbeinu. Your own holy curiosity. Liberate yourself. You know, as the great master Baruch Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, cause none of us can stop the times. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. This is it. Slavery, exodus. Moving out of a state of I think something, but I'm never able to finish. I think something, I'm never able to follow through, to gaining the curiosity, the what, the Moshe enough, that I am an activated person. And when you do that, and when I do that, all of a sudden we get the motor going on the world of Geula. And it's already going. By the way, there are unbelievable waves of currents of tshuva happening in the world. In Israel, in the diaspora, people are waking up. People are doing amazing holy work. People are doing mitzvahs and kindness and learning deep Torahs, and amazing things are happening around the world, friends. Amazing, amazing things. Don't be fooled by the tell your visions, okay? Don't let them tell your vision. Don't let them choose your channel. Don't let them tell you what station to stop at. You get to dial into what you want to dial in. If you like watching stuff, I recommend going on YouTube. There's some awesome, cool content. Nature content that's really thought-provoking. There's some Torah content that's unbelievable, amazing Torah classes out there. There's so much to watch. Don't buy into the fear machines. I think there was a sticker that was going around I saw on one of the ski resorts that said, "Kill your TV." Not saying such a thing. I'm saying conscious, intentional action. Don't allow your mind and what you know to be true to be a voice that doesn't get heard. Expand the neck, remove Pharaoh, and allow the energy to flow.
I saw a bumper sticker many years ago that said, "Life is fragile, handle with prayer."
Ooh, nice.
I'm gonna come up with my boss person. Yeah.
Okay.
Die only once, you live every day.
I thought it was gonna be brachas and broncos. So I got one more beautiful song for you. It goes like this. Mi Mitzrayim geyatonu, mi beis avodim bidisonu. Mi Mitzrayim geyatonu, mi beis avodim bidisonu. Mi Mitzrayim. Feel free to clap along. Mi Mitzrayim geyatonu, mi beis avodim bidisonu. Mi Mitzrayim, oy mi Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim geyatonu, mi beis avodim bidisonu. Mitzrayim geyatonu, mi beis avodim bidisonu. Mitzrayim, Mitzrayim, oy mi Mitzrayim geyatonu, mi beis avodim bidisonu. Mitzrayim, oy mi Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim geyatonu, mi beis avodim bidisonu. Mitzrayim, Mitzrayim geyatonu, mi beis avodim bidisonu. Mitzrayim, Mitzrayim means from Egypt. Hashem, you have redeemed us. From the house of slavery, you have another word for redeemed us. Mitzrayim geyatonu, mi beis avodim bidisonu. I want to invite everyone to take a deep breath in. If you want, you can straighten your back. I want you to bring to mind one thing. Not 1,000 things, not 100 things, not 10 things, not 2 things. Bring to mind one area in your life that you know you could improve. And you even know the steps to improve it. You already know what needs to be done. Is it a choice about what we eat? A choice of how to move our body? A choice of maybe learning some Torah? What's the one area that you know you need to take care of, but have not yet found the motivation to do? I want you to take a deep breath and allow that light to generate in your heart and your mind more. Feel that idea. You see it before you. And I want you to take another deep breath and draw that light greater into your mind. You see the vision clearly, and as you draw that light into your mind, the light starts descending into your neck. With another breath, that light comes even more into your neck and pierces from your neck. A little ray starts piercing into your heart. We we open up the space for that idea to flow into our hearts, for the desire to really grow in that area, to become more deeply felt, more known that this is the truth and what we need to do. We bring more light in from the mind into the neck, casting away the blockages of Pharaoh that hold us back. I can do it. I can do it. It comes into my heart. I can do it. I can do it. I see my vision clear as day. I haven't had the motivation until today, but there's a new day arising. And what arises in my heart, I can truly align with, and I can act upon it. I can do it. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can do it. Yes, I can. Pharaoh, you're going down. Oh, removed. You have no crown. Moses, it's your time to arise with the what and a smile. You will draw down new light from the waters, from the great waters. Curiosity, how can I be a better me? How can I be a better me? Remove all the blockages and allow the mind and the heart, allow the mind and the heart, moach ve'halev, to be in unity, to be in unity. This is my personal redemption, please. Hashem, let me feel it strong. From my personal redemption, may we see that vibration come across all of the nation, to every single Jew, to me and you, to all of us. And may we see times where we can be celebrating with the unity of the higher worlds and the lower worlds. In Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh, oh, the higher worlds and the lower worlds, Hashem, oh, so revealed. Maybe one day my guitar will be in tune. Friends, may we access it truly, fully. Thank you for joining me tonight. I look forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks as new people, as people that have taken on one small thing in our life that's going to help grow us, improve us, and bring us to the next level.
You were not having a class next